Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a super important topic that I think about a lot, and that is things you should keep private. It's something we all deal with, right? Like figuring out where the line is between being open and sharing with the world, and keeping some things just for ourselves and the people we're really close to. It can be tricky, because on the one hand, we're social creatures, and sharing can build connections and all that. But on the other hand, not everyone deserves to hear everything about you, and sometimes oversharing can actually lead to more problems than it solves. So in the interest of setting healthy boundaries and protecting ourselves, let's get into it. Okay, first up, let's talk about money, specifically your salary. This is a big one, and it's something I feel pretty strongly about. Sharing your salary details, even with close friends or family, can lead to all sorts of unnecessary comparisons and, honestly, some pretty awkward situations. Think about it. Everyone's financial situation is different, right? People have different backgrounds, different expenses, different goals. Comparing salaries can create resentment, jealousy, or even just this weird sense of competition that has no place in your relationships. Plus, in the workplace, talking about salary can be a recipe for disaster. It can create tension between colleagues, put your employer in an awkward position, and even potentially hurt your career prospects. The truth is, your salary is a private matter between you and your employer. It's nobody else's business. And honestly, keeping it that way can save you a lot of unnecessary drama and stress. Trust me on this one. Next up, let's talk about relationships. We all have them, and they can be amazing, challenging, and everything in between. But here's the thing, when you're going through a rough patch with your partner, friend, or family member, broadcasting it to the world is rarely the answer. It's tempting, I get it. When you're upset or frustrated, you want to vent, to seek advice, to feel heard. But sharing your relationship problems publicly can actually make things worse. First of all, it can put unnecessary pressure on the relationship. Suddenly, everyone has an opinion, and you're getting bombarded with advice you didn't ask for. It can also create this weird dynamic where you feel like you have to defend your relationship to other people, even if you're not sure how you feel about it yourself. But most importantly, sharing your relationship problems publicly can be a betrayal of trust. Relationships are built on intimacy and vulnerability, and when you share those private moments with the world, it can damage the foundation of trust you've built. Okay, let's talk about the future. It's exciting to think about, right? All the possibilities, the dreams, the goals we have. But here's the thing. Sometimes sharing your future plans too soon can actually sabotage them. I know it sounds counterintuitive. You'd think that talking about your goals would make them more real, more likely to happen. But the truth is, when you share your plans prematurely, you open yourself up to a lot of external pressure and expectations that can actually make it harder to achieve them. Think about it. When you tell everyone you're going to write a book, suddenly everyone's asking you how it's going, even if you've only written a paragraph. That kind of pressure can be paralyzing. It can make you doubt yourself, procrastinate, or even give up altogether. Plus, there's something to be said for the power of keeping your dreams close to your chest, for letting them simmer and develop in private until they're ready to be shared with the world. It's like letting a cake bake fully before you take it out of the oven. Let's talk about health. Our physical and mental well-being is so important, and it's something we should definitely prioritize. But when it comes to sharing health issues, it's essential to be selective about who you confide in. Sharing your health concerns with the entire world can lead to gossip, misinformation, and unwanted advice. Not everyone needs to know the details of your latest doctor's appointment or your struggles with anxiety. It's your personal information, and you have the right to keep it private. Of course, there are times when it's important to share health information. If you're struggling with something serious, it's crucial to reach out to trusted friends, family members, or professionals for support. But even then, you get to choose who you tell and how much you share. Remember, your health is your business. You don't owe anyone explanations or justifications for your health choices or experiences. Family. They're the people we love even when they drive us crazy. But family dynamics can be complicated, and sometimes it's best to keep those complexities within the family circle. Sharing your family problems with the outside world can have unintended consequences. It can lead to unwanted opinions, interference, and even damage relationships within your family. Think about it. When you share a private family matter with someone outside the family, it can create sides, fuel gossip, and make it harder to resolve the issue at hand. Plus, it can be hurtful to family members who may feel like their privacy has been violated. Of course, there are times when it's helpful to seek support from a trusted friend or therapist regarding family issues. But when it comes to airing your family's dirty laundry, it's generally best to proceed with caution and prioritize discretion. Let's talk about money again, but this time, let's broaden it to your overall financial status. Whether you're rolling in dough or barely scraping by, it's generally a good idea to keep your financial details under wraps. Sharing your financial situation can attract unwanted attention, invite envy, and lead to unsolicited advice. People may treat you differently based on your perceived wealth or lack thereof, and that can be really uncomfortable. Plus, talking openly about your finances can make you vulnerable to scams or financial exploitation. There are unfortunately people out there who prey on others' financial situations, and it's best to protect yourself by keeping that information private. Remember, your financial status is your business. You don't owe anyone explanations about your spending habits, your savings account, or your investment portfolio. We all have our own set of beliefs, values, and opinions. It's what makes us unique. But when it comes to sharing those beliefs, it's important to be mindful of the context and the audience. Sharing your personal beliefs, especially on sensitive topics like religion, politics, or social issues, can lead to conflicts, arguments, and strained relationships. Not everyone is going to agree with you, and that's okay. But constantly broadcasting your beliefs, especially in a way that's disrespectful or dismissive of others' viewpoints, can be alienating and unproductive. It's important to remember that healthy discussions and debates can be stimulating and thought-provoking. But when it comes to personal beliefs, sometimes it's best to agree to disagree and focus on finding common ground. We all make mistakes. It's part of being human. But dwelling on the past and sharing every single one of your blunders with the world isn't doing you any favors. Constantly bringing up past mistakes can keep you stuck in a cycle of shame, guilt, and regret. It can also prevent you from moving forward and creating a better future for yourself. Of course, there are times when it's helpful to talk about past mistakes in a therapeutic setting or with trusted loved ones, but sharing them with everyone you meet can create a negative perception of you and make it harder to build healthy relationships. Remember, everyone makes mistakes. It's how we learn and grow. Focus on the present moment and the lessons you've learned from your past, and let go of the need to overshare every single detail. This one might seem obvious, but it's worth repeating. Keep your passwords and security information private. In today's digital age, our personal information is more valuable than ever, and it's crucial to protect it from prying eyes. Sharing your passwords, even with someone you trust, is a huge risk. You never know who might gain access to that information or how it might be used against you. Think of your passwords like the keys to your digital kingdom. You wouldn't give your house keys to just anyone, right? Treat your passwords with the same level of care and caution. Use strong, unique passwords for all your accounts. Enable two-factor authentication whenever possible, and be wary of phishing scams or suspicious emails asking for your personal information. Conflicts are a normal part of life. We're not always going to see eye to eye with everyone, and that's okay. But when conflicts arise, it's important to address them directly with the person involved, and to do so privately. Airing your grievances publicly, whether on social media or through gossip, is rarely productive. It can escalate the situation, damage reputations, and make it much harder to find a resolution. When you're dealing with a conflict, approach the other person directly, with respect and a willingness to listen. Try to understand their perspective, even if you don't agree with it, and focus on finding a solution that works for both of you. Remember, conflict resolution is about communication and compromise, not about winning or being right. So there you have it, folks. These are just a few things you should keep private. It's all about setting healthy boundaries, protecting yourself, and building stronger relationships with the people who matter most. Remember, not everyone deserves to know everything about you. It's okay to be selective about what you share and with whom. Your life is your story, and you get to choose who you share it with. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.